So with that, I'm going to kick it off with my first winner of this offseason. So I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. So this one's pretty obvious. They were the first team to make a big splash in this offseason once the trade market opened up in terms of bringing in Chris Paul. Other notable additions that they brought in were Jay Crowder, Langston Galloway, and Etwan Moore. And their big departures were Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, and Aaron Baines. So looking at this from an outside perspective, obviously you can see in my background, the bubble shot and Phoenix's run last season. But this Phoenix organization has to be looking for ways to try to keep Devin Booker there after this next contract. They don't want to get to a point where he's just upset with his lack of being able to, get other pieces around him and demand a trade at some point. And so I think by bringing in Chris Paul, a guy that Devin Booker has looked up to and interacted with a lot. I mean, he used to go to some of Chris Paul's like point guard camps and stuff like that. And they've always been close with each other. But then also Jay Crowder, another good vet who just has a lot of championship experience and, is able to stretch the court and give him meaningful minutes off the bench or with whatever capacity role he's going to have with the team. And then Langston Galloway, another potential spark plug off the bench type of player. We've talked about this whole Kelly Oubre and the Sun situation to some extent in the past, so I don't want to wear it out too much, but it's not the end of the world that he's going to be gone, I guess. And we know that I've not been a fan of Ricky Rubio.
Yep.
So in terms of upgrading Ricky Rubio to Chris Paul, I think that automatically makes you the biggest winner of any offseason.
Yeah, I think the West is going to be really competitive this year. I fully expect to see the Suns make the playoffs out there. Agree. I mean, Chris Paul, getting him out there is a great move for them. And I know we kind of disagree on Kelly Oubre. I'm kind of glad they got him out of there. He's not a bad player by any means. I like him. It's just, I think by removing him from that system and bringing in Chris Paul, you have your three guys. And I
Yeah.
think like if you keep Kelly Oubre, I think there's going to be a lot of confusion and issues with that sort of pecking order of like who's the guy right now. The big question I have for them this year, and I guess it doesn't necessarily have to do with their offense, but I need to see Devin Booker take this next step. I mean, we've been talking about him for a while. He's still young, but I need him to like be like close to that 30 points like next year. I mean, I want him like mid upper 20s around that 30. I mean, I need to see him make that jump next year if they really want to be a competitive team. I think that's kind of on him, and I think for him this year, like there's no excuse for him anymore. Like he got his point guard, significant upgrade over Ricky Rubio. It's been the same conversation year after year that because that's not Devin Booker's game to facilitate and that sort of thing. Well, Chris Paul's one of the best point guards ever. So if Devin Booker can't elevate his game with a point guard of Chris Paul's stature, then I don't know. I'm kind of lost on where Devin Booker is in the pecking order of players in the NBA that can actually take your team to a championship. And so, but the only other thing I didn't like about their offseason is their draft. And I know we talked about it in our winners and losers of the draft, but I think picking Jalen Smith at 10 was just so odd. And we had that conversation. It was just a very unusual pickup. But I do think the things they did in the offseason with the trades and free agency signings, I did think that they got some nice players. They got rid of a lot of contracts that they didn't really need on their team anymore, and really opened up a little bit more cap space and that sort of thing. So I am looking to see what they're going to do next year. They're definitely going to be a really exciting team to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to spoil one of next week or one of the coming weeks episodes too much, but one of my bold predictions for the season is that Devin Booker can be in this MVP race and potentially snag it.
So you think he's going to
Um,
finish top three?
I'll have to give my official prediction on that
All
episode,
right.
so our listeners will have to wait to see where I stand on that take.
All right.